In the name of Jesus, we continue study Book of Genesis, and this is the last class for this section. Hopefully, you can continue to read Bible after you go home. So what we have learned here is something from the instructor to share with you. The most important thing is after we have learned something, then we bring it back and then apply it into our life, especially establish the life of prayer and cultivation. So as long as we keep going, really every day you read Bible and you pray, Holy Spirit will guide. So when you read a story, not just try to know the knowledge, but eventually you have to know why I have to read this passage. What is the purpose? What are you going to learn? And what does God talk to me? This class we learned basically the journey of Abraham and how God trained him to grow. Eventually his faith up to the highest point. And then after finish the test, he passed. Then his life has been so abundant, and later you see, not long after, then he just returned back to his fathers. Okay, so we continue to read chapter 22, verse 13. Verse 13 and 14, this the voice from heaven. Chapter 22, verse 13. And Bible said, after God called him Abraham, right? And basically just say you pass. Abraham dipped his eyes and looked. And then there behind him was a ram caught in a thicket by its horns. So Abraham went and took the ram and then offered it up for a burnt offering instead of his son. At this moment, Abraham, he realized, that's how God trained him. And he must be very grateful and also very happy because what he believed is true. And at this moment, Isaac also heard what God said, right? Because Isaac was on the altar. And he actually prepared himself to be killed, and just like a burnt offering already. Can you imagine at this moment what kind of the understanding or how he knows or how he believes what his father said, the Lord will prepare, right? The Lord will prepare on the way to the mountain. Now he realized what father says, right? And indeed, God is faithful. So when Abraham went to get this ram, this Bible didn't say, but I think Abraham must untie the boy Isaac first, let him out of the altar, and then together to get this ram, and they have to kill this ram, right? And then offer it on the altar. So this is the whole process, how father and son, their faith both grow together. Let's call the two generations. They can experience God's provision, and they obey God. They trust, and then they witness God is indeed faithful. And later, Isaac will also heard the promise of God in person. So before God promised Abraham, but now this promise, this covenant will be delivered to the next generation. Okay. Okay, so we continue to see God promised Abraham again the second time. And Isaac, he was there to witness the whole thing, because he is one of the main role, because he involved this test. Okay, so Isaac witnessed how his father chose to obey the Lord's commandment rather than withhold his only beloved son, and also how God provided the lamb instead of himself. Of course, from the perspective of Hebrews, Abraham already had faith. So he believed, even though Isaac was killed and then offered, God still can bring him back, right? So God has this power to resurrect the dead. But God didn't have to do that far, because faith means Abraham already see and then he believed. Before things happen, he already know this is the result. This is called faith. So this is the first time to Isaac. This is the first time he witnessed how God promised him. And previous, God already promised to Abraham. Now, this faith passed on to the next generation. So today, we learned in the prayer section how TJC has been established, right? 1917. One generation after another. Workers, the first generation and then passed to the next until now, over 100 years already. And we don't know how many generations must to go. But we know the baton have to pass to the next generation anyway, until the second coming of Jesus. And you have received the training, all different kind of seminars, right? And you have learned different classes, including all the history through the RE classes. You learn how to be a Christian soldier, right? And we also have to readjust our goal of life. Are you going to join this trend to fight the good fight and to make the church continue preach until the Lord return? Okay, so this is I think it's very important process. Let's read verse 14. Verse 15. Verse 15. And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time, 16, and said, By myself I have sworn, said the Lord, for because you has done these things, and has not withheld your son, your only son. 17. That in blessing I will bless you, and in multiplying I will multiply your seed as the stars of the heaven, and as possess the gate of, or as the sand which is upon the seashore, and your seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. Okay.
Why did God say that he called Isaac his only son, even though Ishmael is his son too?
See, that's why in God's eyes, Abraham has only one son. Because this son is out of promise, right? Ishmael is not God's will, out of human flesh, human desire. It's different. Okay. Now, This is the content of what God said. God, second time, revealed himself to Abraham and to Isaac. Reason is because you have obeyed my voice. Because you have obeyed my voice. And God promised. Promise and blessing never change. Right? By myself, I have sworn, says the Lord. Means God swear under his own name. Means this is forever, never change. Because no one greater than God himself. Okay. So, blessing, I will bless you. Multiplying, I will multiply your descendants. And your descendants shall possess the gate of their enemies. Means victory. Right? Victory always. And your seed, all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. So in your seed, is the singular, one seed. All the nations of the earth shall be blessed. So this blessing, this promise already point to Jesus Christ, the future. And eventually, all the nations of the earth will be blessed and can be saved through him, through this seed. So this is the reassurance of the promise and the covenant. And this is I think, the most important key of this chapter here. Okay. So, if we read verse, let's read verse 19. Verse 19. Okay. Can someone read? Brother Matthew, please read. 19. Now, Abraham already taught to his young men, right? 2 sermons. Waiting there, we will return. Indeed. What he says is true. Because he already believed God will do something for him. So, from beginning, he already believed, even I offer Isaac on the altar, he died, being burned. But God still can bring him back. So, 2 of them will return to this young man. Right? So it's just like from death and resurrect. This is a process. At this moment, Isaac himself, he didn't really die. But from Abraham's mind, he died already. God made him alive. Because God already prepared a lamb to become sacrificed, to offer. So Isaac didn't need to go through this death. But now he returned already. Okay? So this is the very beautiful ending. And then we see how blessed if a person have really faith, trust God in everything. All right, so God will provide, right? From verse 20 to 24, and this just like a note, the special note. God will provide for Isaac's marriage. God provide this lamb as offering instead of Isaac. Now Isaac become alive again. Right? He returned, and here special mention. God actually will provide Isaac the future spouse. So after these things that it was told Abraham, the news, his relative, his fathers, there is a special mention, a name, Rebecca. Rebecca, this name appear. And this will be Isaac, the future spouse. And of course, at this moment, Abraham, he doesn't know. Right? But somebody just told him, his family's news. And this continue, and then let's come to the next chapter. This is the, I think it's very important lesson we can learn. God will provide not only for our physical need, not only our future, of course, including our marriage too. So, as young person, you are single. Most of you are very, very naive, and some maybe got some kind of a concept to be anxious about your marriage, but in reality, you don't have to go through the anxiety. Trust God, and God will provide, including your marriage. So be patient, and then also be vigilant, be watchful to keep yourself holy. The most important thing is you do need to keep yourself holy. Otherwise, if God provides, you cannot take it. Okay? So let's move on to 23. Chapter 23. And this is outline. In the beginning, said Sarah was 127 years old. And this is and there was the years of the life of Sarah. Abraham then mourned for his wife. Verse 2, Sarah died in this place, in Hebron, in the land of the Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. This whole life of Sarah, 127 years old. And this is the only female character, figure in the Bible. We know how long she lived. The only one, Sarah. Okay. 127. Special. And there's a reason behind why she was so special. Okay. And then Abraham requested Ephraim's burial place in order to bury Sarah. Okay. And Abraham possessed the field of this called in Chinese is called 麦比拉 Macpela 麦比拉洞. Okay, so this is outline for your reference. Hope you have read this before. Let's move on. Abraham didn't have any possession to bury his dead. So basically, he has been in the land of Canaan for how many years now? If Sarah is 127, means Abraham is 137. And at age of 75, Abraham already moved to Canaan, right? So how many years already? 137 minus 75. How many years? Brother? 137 minus 75. Answer is? 几年? How many? 62. Okay. He already lived there more than 6 decades. He owned nothing at all. He really lived a life just like a sojourner, without any possession. But Abraham, he enjoyed his life because he abided with God. And God blessed him, guide every step of his life. He was so content indeed. Whether he has a land or not is not a matter at all. So, sojourner without land, now he had to find a place to bury Sarah. So end up he had to buy something. But God already promised him, say, this land belongs to you. But in reality, it is not his. Right? But Abraham believed. What a faith he showed us, right? So let's see the virtue of Sarah. The virtue of Sarah is very important because First Peter chapter 3, special mention about Sarah. All the wives, if can imitate or to learn from Sarah, will become very good wives. This is called a virtue. We know her background, right? Chapter 20, verse 12 already say, she and Abraham, they are half sister, right? Brother, same father, but different mother. And then she was very obedient. Not even sound any comment, even though she was in danger and consider how come the husband is so savage. But she showed no complaint at all. Just follow whatever Abraham said, and then she just did it. Right? And every time, God always protect her. No one can touch her. Right? No one. Every time, if something happened, it's going to happen, then God already intervened. That is the example. If we really trust God, God will work for us. We don't have to worry. Right? In this moment, the stronger faith will bring peace and no complaint or no anger. If you consider your husband did the same thing to you, what is your reaction? Right? Can you imagine? Can you hold your peace inside and not sound any word? It's very hard, actually, indeed. How many can really repeat this kind of virtue? And also, she has faith, right? She has faith. Chapter 21 say she gave birth of the child at the age of 90. 90. An old lady gave birth of a baby. That's a miracle. She must have faith. And then she received. And her faith, if we flip back to Hebrew chapter 11, it mentioned about the faith of Sarah. Let's turn to chapter 11. Verse 11 to 13. Hebrews 11. Verse 11 to 13. Okay. Can Sister Fiona. In the back.
By faith Sarah herself also received strength to conceive seed, and she bore a child when she was past the age, because she judged him faithful who had promised.
To 13.
12. Therefore one man, and him as good as dead, were born as many as the stars of the sky in multitude, innumerable as the sand which is by the seashore. 13. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, were assured of them, embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims of the earth.
Thank you. By faith. By faith, Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed. And was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. It's by faith. She did it, and she just received God's promise without doubt, without fear. Sometimes when God promises us something, then we consider our own condition, and we become anxious because we fear. How about what if? What if? We put a lot of the question mark there, but to her, no. Okay, this is called faith. We do need to pursue this genuine faith. Very beautiful. And then she also have wisdom, right? she is wise, a wise wife. She already view the danger of the environment if Ishmael continue to live in the house. She care about her son. And so she provide the best for the son in order to raise him up to inherit the covenant. She have faith and she believe and she take action to pass the faith to the next generation. Okay? So the mother, good mother is always consider your children. Sisters, when you have a child, are you going to care about how much money you earn? What kind of profession you can have? Or are you going to care about your own children? Which one has more value? You can earn 6 figures of wages, but at the end, your children probably will grow up in the daycare center. You know, from childhood, from baby to adulthood, because you have to work, you have to earn wages in order to support. But how about the children? Children could be got bad influence from the others. The best is mother if can raise their own children. And to be a good mother have to have patience too. Mother also needs to learn to grow. If we don't learn, then we are not going to be a good mother, good father too. Brother, the same. If we don't learn to be a good father, then your children will be suffer. We have a brother. He lost his father when he was young. And because of the environment, he doesn't know how to interact with others. The life just keep going, and then he grew up. He married, and then he has children. End up, he have more than one son. But because of his background and the personality, he doesn't know how to talk to the son. He just used his own way, insisted. Oh, so I don't know how to describe it in English, but to his children, they got hurt a lot. They dare not to say something to the father. So end up, nobody want to talk to the father. And the father become even more angry. So the parents and the children, they don't know how to interact to each other. So end up, the problem is, the brother, before he got married, he have no idea how to be a good father. And through the Bible reading or this spiritual life, he didn't really learn how to change his way. It's a biblical way in order to be able to educate his own children. So today, no matter what we are going to do, we always consider my faith have to pass to the next. So the most important thing is we have to learn. When we are young, learn. If you decide to marry, then you have to prepare. One day you could be a father, you could be a mother. Then learn how to be a good parent. From the Bible, we know how to be a good parent because Bible already shows us the example. Teaching is there, very clear. Right? But the problem is sometimes we don't want to learn and we just live our own way. We don't want to change it. So if mother really have wisdom, then she will see what is most important thing. You know, once children grow up, no more, because we have only one childhood. And the early childhood is most important thing. All of the value system, all the view of life, all of the relationship must be built first, set the foundation in this age. So become a good mother. This related to our future generation. Become a good father. So our church member, they will not have this kind of family issue. If we want to send the light to the world, but end up our church families full of the problem, all different kind of parenting problem, marriage problem, how are you going to testify, say, I have this complete gospel, I'm so content, the church is so good? No, we do not have the base, the ground to proclaim to the whole world, right? Even some our own member, they just doubt and cannot believe, because in our own family we cannot experience the sweetness of faith. We have to fix it. We have to mend this breach. Okay, so you are the hope. In the future, you could be a good father, good mother. Consider, learn from Sarah. What a wise woman, wise wife. She provided the best for her own child. And indeed, Isaac is so good. So good. And she is very diligent, right? Diligent. Chapter 18, verse 6. When Abraham received these 3 guests, Abraham didn't get consensus with Sarah, say, I want to invite 3 friends come. Are you agree? Are you going to serve? No. Abraham just invite, come to my house, have feast, then rush to the tent, ask Sarah, prepare, be ready. Diligently, work. So, mother, this is, if we want to serve, care about our children, mother must be very diligent, actually. Cannot be lazy. Good meal for your children. It's very important. As wife, good meal for your husband. Because once you control his stomach, then you control his hand. Right? If you are good neck, then you control the head. Okay, be wise. Put effort in. You definitely will reap the good harvest. So the family will be very joyful. The marriage will be very blessed. The family is also grow too. Loving mother. If you look at chapter 24 verse 67, you read yourself. You see how Isaac was so lost when he lost the mother at age of 37. Right? 37. His mother passed. And then he's still so, you just consider the scenery. Isaac sit in the field and meditate. What did he think about? Right? So, maybe at this moment, a lot of good memories just come back. A mother, his loving mother. And then after Rebecca appeared, then his heart got comfort. So he definitely missed mother, showing Sarah is loving mother, very important. Okay. All right, so let's move. The meaning of bury Sarah in the land of Canaan. They are sojourner, but Abraham believed in God's promise, God's confirmation of such a promise too. Chapter 22 already said. Abraham buried Sarah there because he believed that the land of Canaan was the land of promise, which God had given to him. So he buried Sarah in the land of Canaan instead of bringing her back to where? Haran, right? To his father's house. No. Here is the promised land. So he decided to bury Sarah here. So today, some members, they consider, if I pass away, then I have to, I want me to bury in certain place. No. No matter where we lay down our body, it's not a matter, because we are just sojourner. the most important thing, we must sure we have inheritance in heaven. Okay? All right, let's move on. A place buried the first 3 generations of Israel. The process how Abraham bought the land, this burial site. You read yourself. And Sarah is the first to be buried there, and then Abraham. Later, Isaac, Rebekah, Jacob, and then Leah. These 3 generations, couples, all buried on the same place. And this become their place. History is here. Whole life. And then, so, but sister, even though right now you are still young, consider one day if you just return to the dust, what is your gravestone will describe you, who you are. You know, consider we have an end, and we don't know how Bible describe. We know, but some doesn't have this description. But you consider yourself. But this is the place for their family and in the land of promise. We need to go to this first. This God trained Abraham's faith. 11 times, God appeared to Abraham, called him, and then Abraham just goes through this process. Eventually, his faith up to the top. From very, little and gradually move to the very strong faith. And God trained, and God appeared to Abraham the most time. Compare with the Isaac and the Jacob, or even the 4th generation of Joseph. This is the beginning, right? God really trained Abraham a lot. And because he is the important, he is the father of faith. Okay. All right. I want to move to this. Chapter 24 is important about marriage. We have very short time, but I do need to emphasize here about marriage. And this long chapter, and this is the chapter. Whenever we study about marriage, we will definitely study in depth. To marriage coordinator workshop, they have to study this chapter 2, because they don't need to be an old sermon. They need to help the youth, the younger generation, to find their spouse. So this is very famous. Many study, and every time receive the inspiration, and we see how God guide our members' marriage. Okay, so verse 1 to 9. This is how Abraham commend his old sermon, this commission, to find a wife for Isaac. Verse 10 to 14. This prayer of this sermon, old sermon. He knows how to perform, how to get the job done by relying on God, not by his own idea. And then, verse 15 to 28, this guidance of the Lord. When the old servant pray and trust God, and then God will guide his way. From the beginning, when Abraham command his old servant, Abraham already had faith, and because he believed God will provide and guide his way. So he is able to find a good wife for his son Isaac. And God indeed on the way guide, right? And then sermon recount God's help to Laban. So eventually he reached the destination and find the one God provide for Isaac. And then we see how at the end, Rebekah answer and make a decision. She also have faith. Yes, I go. And this marriage just becomes so wonderful. Okay. 3 things Abraham made this sermon swell too. First, not select Isaac's wife from Gentiles, woman, not Canaanites. So, no Gentiles. Second, choose wife from among Abraham's relatives, means they must have same worship God. They are not going to worship other gods, idols. Faith is important. Okay. Number 3, not take Isaac back to Abraham's former home or land. Isaac cannot depart from the promised land. He had to remain in the promised land in Canaan. So Isaac cannot leave the land. Just like today, you cannot leave the church. Be careful. This is the promised land. Okay. All right. So marriage is a serious matter, very important. Not only for your individuals, but actually this also relates to your parents, the family. Marriage is a big matter for the church. Right? If your marriage got blessed, the church prospers. If you have trouble in your marriage, then church suffer. Okay? Make sure everyone have a good marriage. Social stability also relates to the marriage too. So this society becomes so chaos because the core value, the core of this fear God, of the core of the family, marriage, broken. That's why this is a situation, and it will become even severe than before. Okay, let's skip this because we do not have time. Time almost too short. Okay, parents need to consent children's marriage. So that's why Abraham, in old age, he wanted his wife have a family, happy family, right? So he proactively arranged this for Isaac, and Isaac obeyed. And so this is something for the marriage coordinator. Okay, let's go to the this. Okay, I want to show you here. You have a homework, right? Have you finished the homework? The 5 criteria you select for your future spouse? Have you? What is your answer? What's your answer? You select because of faith, good faith, solid belief, TJC, zeal, love God, love man. Or you care about appearance, okay? And do you consider the family, the background, where they come from? Or you really care about the occupation, the profession, what kind of background, what kind of job they are doing, how much they earn? Right? Do you really care that? Or is this your criteria? How about health, physical or mental health? Some may have a very smart, intelligent, but very low EQ. Very low EQ. Don't know how to talk to others. Have no idea how to resolve problem, or lack of the interpersonal skill. They don't know how to communicate, to express his own anxiety or his joy. So we have to learn actually, health, not only physical. So brother, don't just train your body, train your mental as well. Be mature enough. How to manage our emotion is very important. You must be emotional steady, and you can be independent. When are you going to consider marriage? When you are stable. When you are not getting anxious when you are alone. You know how to deal with your emotion. You will not feel, I'm so lonely, I need someone to just accompany me. I cannot get along. It's very dangerous. If it's not, means you're not stable yet. Yeah. You always need someone. Means if someone outsider, let's come to say sweet word to you, and then you will get deceived. People will just easily just get you out. Right? So independently, mentally too, you have to be mature enough in your emotion. Okay, how about education? This is quite a question. Degree. Are you looking for at least certain degree and then it's become qualified and you consider marriage? Or do we consider personality? Personality. Can you compete? Can you really talk? Same interest? Hobbies, lifestyle. Right? What kind of life are you going to live? Just to, if you have got free time, shopping, play games. One sister, one brother, he said his criteria of future spouse is must be able to play games, video game with him. And then another criteria say, she must be able to play basketball with me, basketball, because he liked to play basketball, and then he wish his wife can play video game with him together and play basketball. What kind of criteria? I'm so under. Anyway, I mean, everybody different, but what's yours? Okay? I have to use the time to go through this very important reminder. In 2017, IATRC come up with this resolution and definition about sexual conduct. Carefully, this is the very important guidance, and we must be aware of it. You cannot skip it. In the future, if we want to really consider blessed marriage, we want to have matrimony ceremony in the chapel. This is the principle we have to hold on. If you dream you can be blessed in front of God, in front of the brethren, in the chapel, have a very beautiful wedding, this is the principle you do need to hold on it until the wedding day. Don't compromise. Sister, don't compromise. Okay? Brother is more kind of like an animal. But sister, you have to insist. If you say no, nobody can do something. Unless you compromise. So, sisters, sometimes keys in your hand. If you say no, that means seriously, don't touch. Okay? But sometimes, sisters, you compromise too. So that's why bad things happen. Brother, if someone say no, you stop. Otherwise, you cross the line easily. Okay? So, in accordance with the Bible, the church should actively educate believers to walk in the Word of God and to keep ourselves holy. Number two, the church should actively educate the believer that sexual conduct is strictly to be reserved between husband and wife. C, shall any case arise, especially counseling and dealing with the matter carefully with the vigilant heart are required. If something happens, find someone to be counseled. Find some counselor to help you to resolve the problem. Don't just deal with your problem yourself, because you may make a big mistake. This is a matter of whole life long. This is not a joke, okay? So all the verses here, Matthew chapter 5, Proverbs chapter 4, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. These verses, you can read yourself. And this is all related to holiness. And we do need to make our youth knows. First Corinthians chapter 6, 18 to 20. Let's read together. Here. 1, 2, 3. Thank God. Hopefully, we can all remember. This is very important. Our body is not our own. Our body is the temple of God. We cannot defile our body. So, be vigilant to keep yourself holy. Okay? Now, God created them male and female. Institute marriage. Husband and wife shall become one flesh. To be multiply and have children. The sexual relationship is part of the blessed relationship between husband and wife. A sexual relationship is only allowed between husband and wife. If sexual conduct is conducted outside of this relationship, this is adultery, which is an abomination in the sight of God. This biblical teaching, we believe this is what Bible say. The principle we have to hold on. Okay? So the sexual relationship only allowed within marriage between husband and wife. So even engagement, not yet. Must until you get married, after just waiting. And then officially, husband and wife, then you can enjoy the sexual life. Otherwise, no. Okay? Very straightforward. Don't work on the ages. Okay? All right. What is the sexual conduct? Oral sex, mammary intercourse, masturbation for one another, anal intercourse, and sexual intercourse are considered sexual activities. Okay? This is somewhat not of course, there's new things coming out, years after years. All the new term may come out. Right? But we have to know this is very fundamental. From the beginning, God created already, because God put this mechanism into our heart already. Okay? Sexual activity, as described above, between a man and woman before marriage are considered premarital sex. Premarital. Premarital means you are not husband and wife yet. Right? Number 4, to engage in sexual activities with a third person outside of the marital relationship is considered committing adultery. This is serious. Serious. Number 5, sexual activity between two homosexual individuals is considered committing adultery. So this is the resolution of IITRC. And now the whole over TJC will follow the same principle. Okay. Now, what if you have this premarital sex or sexual conduct? What is the result? 2020, the resolution handling this case of fornication before marriage. Number 2, it is inappropriate for the church to solemnize the marriage of a fornicated couple and give the benedictions. Okay. Yet the church may hold a family service for them. Okay. So, in order to be praised in front of God and church, we do need to keep it. So hopefully you can be reminded, and after you return home, this is a principle for your future marriage. Hopefully, all the youth can be blessed from your joyful family future in the Lord. Okay, sorry for taking some time, but I hope this you can really keep it in your heart. Let's pray in silence. Amen.